How's it going, Matthew Beavers of Spiritual Wars of YHWH.com? It's been a while since I've done a video on this channel, and that's going to change. I'm going to try my best to keep putting them out consistently, doing different scriptural trainings or teachings. So let's jump into this one. This one's going to be Torah, the blueprint for life. So let's talk about blueprints and foundations. Kind of boring. But when you build a house, you build a solid foundation first. Then you build from there. You don't start at the roof and then build down. That doesn't make sense, does it? No. The same goes for our spiritual lives and learning Scripture. It would be absolutely foolish to start reading in Revelations and work our way backwards and expect to grab a full understanding of what Scripture actually teaches, what the Scriptures mean. It wouldn't be a good idea either to start in the book of Matthew and just read the New Testament. You have to start with a foundation. You have to start with the Torah. For example, in Matthew chapter 4, I think there's 3 different verses that are a direct quote from the book of Deuteronomy by our Messiah Yeshua. But if you don't have your scripture foundation, you wouldn't understand that. You wouldn't understand what he's quoting. And he quotes the Torah a lot. The Torah is quoted a lot of times in different places in the New Testament. So what does the word Torah mean? It means teachings or instructions. It represents how we should live our lives as a whole. Let's check out this first verse of Scripture. Exodus 12:49. There is one Torah for the native born and for the stranger who sojourns among you. The Torah is for everyone. It's not just for the Jews. It's not just for the Jewish people. It's for everyone on this planet. Whether you're American, African, Mexican, Chinese, whatever, it doesn't matter. The Torah is for everyone. And if you're not a native-born Israelite, you can be grafted in. You see that in Isaiah and Romans as well. You see a verse talking about Yeshua and following his example. 1 John 2:6. The one who says he stays in him ought himself also to walk, even as he walked. This is no doubt talking about Yeshua, our Messiah, and following his example, walking in his steps. When we observe the teachings of the Torah, we are following Yeshua's example, since he walked perfectly in the Torah. If he did not walk perfectly in the Torah, he would be what? A sinner. Here's a really cool verse in Proverbs 6:23. For the command is a light, and the Torah a lamp, and reproofs of discipline a way of life. If we walk in the Torah, we practice what the Torah teaches. We are walking in the light. If we don't walk in the Torah, what are we walking in? According to that verse, if you walk in Torah, you're walking in light. In the Torah, we find instructions on pretty much every area of our life. What we should eat, what we should wear, what day we should rest on, what observances or important days we should observe, which ones we should not observe. We learn not just on how to raise our children, but we also learn to raise righteous adults. So when they get older, they'll make great decisions on how to teach their kids and just how to live their lives according to the Torah and the instructions inside of it. Let's see a verse in Deuteronomy 29:29. The secret matters belong to Yahweh our Elohim, but what is revealed belongs to us and to our children forever, to do all the words of this Torah. Does it say a couple words of the Torah or all of them? What is revealed belongs to us and to our children. To do all the words of the Torah. You're supposed to teach your kids to walk in the Torah, to follow Yeshua's example, which is walking in the Torah. We also learn how to treat our brethren and our neighbor. The Torah teaches us how to live a righteous life, plain and simple. But wait a minute, you might be thinking, my pastor told me the law is too hard to follow. Let me address that with some verses in the Old and the New Testament. Deuteronomy 30, I'm going to go to verse 11 through 20. For this command which I am commanding you today, it is not too hard, nor is it far off. There we go. It's not too hard. It is not in the heavens to say, who shall ascend into the heavens for us and bring it to us, and cause us to hear it, so that we do it. Nor is it beyond the sea to say, who shall go up over the sea for us, and bring it to us, and cause us to hear it, so that we do it. For the word is very near you, in your mouth and in your heart, to do it. See, I have set before you today life. Life. If you walk in the Torah, you're walking in life. I have set before you today life and good, death and evil. And that I am commanding you today to love Yahweh your Elohim, to walk in his ways, and to guard his commands and his laws and his right rulings. You shall live. You shall live. You shall prosper and increase. There you go. And Yahweh your Elohim shall bless you in the land which you go to possess. But if your heart turns away, and you do not obey, and shall be drawn away, and shall bow down to other mighty ones and serve them, I have declared to you today that you shall certainly perish. You shall not prolong your days in the land which you are passing over the Jordan to enter and possess. I have called the heavens and the earth as witnesses today against you. I have set before you life and death, the blessing and the curse. Therefore you shall choose life, or walking in Torah, so that you live, both you and your seed, to love Yahweh your Elohim, to obey his voice, and to cling to him, for he is your life and the length of your days. To dwell in the land which Yahweh your Elohim swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Yitzhak, and to Yaakov. Alright, so let's see the verse in the New Testament, showing that the Torah is not too hard. There's a lot of people who say, oh, that's in the Old Testament. Okay, I'll show you one in the New Testament. 1 John 5, 2 and 3. But it's all important. For somebody that say, oh, that's in the Old Testament, their heart is not in the right place. They need to check themselves in their relationship with the Father. Verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of Elohim, when we love Elohim and guard his commands. For this is the love for Elohim, that we guard his commands, and his commands are not heavy. They're not heavy. They're not done away with either. So looking at the two preceding verses, the commands of Yahweh are neither heavy nor too hard to keep. For that matter, why would the Almighty give the commands he knew were too hard to keep to his creation? How much sense does that make? How much sense does that make? He's going to give you commands that he know you can't keep to begin with. That doesn't make any sense. In the last verse of Scripture, we'll look at one in Ecclesiastes. So Solomon wrote some or all of Ecclesiastes. He's a very wise dude. And this verse is toward the end of Ecclesiastes. And this verse is 12:13. Let us hear the conclusion of the entire matter. The entire matter. Let me see what it says in the King James. It says the whole matter in there. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Elohim and guard his commands, for this applies to all mankind. It applies to everyone, just like the Torah is for everyone. This applies to everyone. So the Torah is not done away with. It's still applicable today in 2016 and beyond, till the Messiah comes back. And it's not too hard to do. So we need to lay a foundation of the Torah in our lives, and then proceed from there. Shalom.